The star had just jumped into the swimming pool when someone next to him poured a bucket full of venomous snakes into the water. Jack, unaware of the impending danger, was suddenly bitten hard by a snake the instant he raised his head to breathe. By the time the bodyguards noticed something was wrong, it was too late. They quickly dragged Jack to the shore, but the venom had already begun spreading throughout his body. The bodyguards immediately called for an ambulance and hurriedly carried Jack to the hotel entrance. As they arrived downstairs, they spotted an ambulance parked outside. Without confirming if it was the one they had called, the bodyguards hastily loaded Jack into the vehicle. Just as the ambulance was about to drive away, the real one arrived on the scene. Realizing their identities were about to be exposed, the kidnappers pulled out knives to scare off the crowd while their accomplices drove the ambulance away from the scene. Jack, who had been taken back to their hideout, was jolted awake by ice water. Standing before him were the family members of his victims. It turned out that this celebrity was actually a serial killer. 17 years ago, Jack had murdered many people, yet he never went to prison and even became a top star in South Korea. A few days prior, Jack held a press conference where he admitted to being the real culprit behind the serial murder case from 17 years ago. He even wrote a book detailing all the specifics of his crimes. Because the statute of limitations for murder cases in South Korea is only 15 years, once that time passes, the law no longer holds the murderer accountable or punishes them. That's why Jack dared to so brazenly publicize that he was a killer. Shockingly, as soon as the book went on sale, it sold over 3 million copies in just a few days, with net profits exceeding 20 billion won. Jack used this money to engage in charity work and quickly became a top star. His fans didn't care whether he was a murderer. They only knew he was handsome and talented. To maintain his spot on the trending charts, Jack visited the families of his victims and knelt in front of their homes to repent. An elderly man in his 50s came out, and Jack sincerely apologized to him, but soon revealed a smug smile. The old man, unable to hold back, slapped him in the face. Little did he know, this was exactly what Jack wanted. With this stunt, Jack's fan count continued climbing, gaining 50 million new fans in just 1 week. What Jack didn't know was that the families of all his victims had formed a Avengers Alliance. They planned the kidnapping at the pool and took Jack to the outskirts of the city. The victims' families wanted to find out where their loved ones' bodies were located. Suddenly, the lights went out. People wearing night vision goggles took advantage of the darkness to sneak in. They cut the ropes binding Jack, and when the lights came back on, he was gone. As the families chased after them, they saw someone carrying Jack on their back, trying to escape. They quickly released wolf dogs to hunt them down. This is a very exciting Korean movie called Confession of Murder.